And the legend has it that she was murdered and she was a witch.
Yeah, during the Salem witch trials.
Jesus Christ. What a time,
man,
to be alive.
So men were never accused of being witches?
It does not appear that way. I've never seen that happen.
What is a man witch called?
A warlock.
A warlock?
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
I've never heard
nobody ever threw that word out there. Why was it always the women? I always wanted that, but...
You know how history is with women.
Yeah,
it don't even fucking matter. That shit was wild though, because honestly, people was just accusing you if they didn't like you. That's crazy.
It is crazy because you get this audience together and they just can't wait to hang or burn you. And they just sit there and watch it, and then after it's done, they just like, all right, well, what y'all want for dinner? Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Cinecism. I'm Eric.
It's your boy Dante, man, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Fear Street series, 1994, 1978, and 1660. Six.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, because the devil.
Yeah. Yeah, because Satan. Sounds about right. Fear Street, the trilogy of movies, focuses on this series of murders that have been taking place for a few hundred years at this point. The mysterious nature surrounding them and how nobody could ever really explain why they occurred. There's a theory that's been going around that there's some kind of mystical force behind it that's been possessing people to commit these murders. And then other people, like in the media, just basically refers to these individuals as like junkies that just went crazy and started killing people. That's not typical junkie behavior. Right. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm about to say, and then
not to be reoccurring. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. Maybe a one-off
right now. I would have been asking questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Each movie focuses on like a different group of people that are basically fighting for their lives, either trying to uncover a mystery or running from the people that are trying to murder them.
There's an underlying urban legend of this woman named Sarah Fear that was alive in the 1600s. They say that she cursed Shadyside. Now it's this centuries old curse is kind of reoccurring where she possesses people every couple of decades or something like that. She needs some type of an offering for what was done to her.
The first and main character we're introduced to is Dina. Dina is this young teen girl who's attending high school in Shady Side.
We ain't never really get no information on Dina's parents, but they seem very absent. Yeah.
But Dina has a little brother too.
Yeah, well, cause she pretty much like his guardian. She has a little brother that's probably a couple of years.
After a certain point, I was like, okay, I guess they just don't have her. I guess she is the guardian here.
I think her dad, from what we understand, was maybe a drunk or alcoholic or something. I think
she's at the age where she's trying to come to terms. Well, actually, no, she knows who she is sexually, but the girl that she was in a relationship with is kind of having a hard time, I think, being who she is. So they kind of on outs because the other girl, Sam, is not really comfortable with everybody knowing her sexual preferences yet. So
she confronts Sam at this football game. They actually having a football game against a rival town. When they leaving the game, one of the guys that Sam is dating is like throws something at the school bus, causing them to veer off the road, and Sam kind of ventures off into Sarah Fear's grave. And that's when things kind of start to spiral out of control, you know, because once you activate that grave site,
activate.
I don't know how else to say it.
I mean, basically, every time somebody touch some shit,
bro,
shit happens.
Right, you ain't never lying.
That's all I can say about that.
Dina is great in this movie, right? She's the lead character, but that voice, Shiny Shy murders, we gotta find.
You know, I guess I didn't. Oh God, stop. I guess I didn't pay much attention to it. I don't know how, but
nigga, it was very apparent to me. I said, "Wow, is this the voice we going with?" I would call Dina probably the de facto leader through all of this. She seemed like the person that's coming up. She's the driving force of the movie. Yeah, everybody else is kind of just in a support function. I think we probably learned the most about her as a character, honestly. Let's talk about Josh, her little brother.
He's a 90s nerd kid, man, into video games and, computers and all of that.
One of Josh's things is he's actually a conspiracy theorist. Yeah. And he's kind of a Sarah Fear enthusiast. Like, he hangs out in a lot of those chat rooms where they talk about the legend of Sarah Fear and a lot of the weird killings that go on. And they give him the role of the nerd with the crush on the cool, pretty girl in this movie. So he's also got a lot of cool ideas, too. And truthfully, he comes in clutch in a lot of these situations because he's the most knowledgeable really about Sarah Fear and the legend of that. And a lot of that stuff becomes very instrumental in the overall story. So he's definitely a key player in helping solve this whole shit.
Sam is Dina's former, I guess, off and on love interest. She attends the rival high school, right? Near the beginning of the movie, you know, she gets into the accident, so she was in the hospital recovering. That first came in contact with Sarah Fear's burial site. She was able to see like a lot of things that happened in the past, you know, the way in which Sarah Fear was murdered. So are the people after her? Because at first they made it seem like they was trying to get to her to kill her, but was that the case?
That was definitely the case at first. They changed their plans, but originally they were trying to kill her. Sam is pretty much marked and she's cursed now for these creatures to come up and attack her. They end up coming up with this plan where they have to kill her and then raise her from the dead, but that ends up backfiring, and then as a result of that, Sam ends up getting possessed. And now she's turned into one of these murderous
psychopaths.
Correct. They have to try to figure out how to get her unpossessed, and that's when they kind of go on this whole mission to find Ziggy and figure out what she knows, because she's the only one that has survived what Sam has been through. Obviously, they want to understand why and how she did that so they can save their friend.
That's what leads us to the second movie. We go back to her story, and it takes place in Camp Nightway, where we find out that Ziggy had a sister. This summer camp or something where both of the rival neighborhoods were at.
One of the murderers that ends up becoming one of Sarah Fear's go-to guys, I guess.
Talking about Tommy?
Yeah.
Listen, man, Tommy was swinging that thing,
bro.
Boy.
Ziggy's sister, Cindy, her boyfriend ends up becoming one of the murderers. Yeah. So, you know, he becomes, I forget, what was his name, Bagman or something? Because he had a bag on. Axel Rose.
Lumberjack.
Is that his name?
No.
In 1978 is where you really get a lot of the Sarah Fear backstory, at least in terms of that camp. That camp is deeply rooted to her because that tree is the same tree that they hung her from and all of that.
They keep putting shit there, huh?
Nigga, you ain't never gonna lie. How you build around some shit like that? That's crazy. As if no shit ever happened.
Right, why didn't you cut it down?
Like, what the fuck? This camp is directly linked to Sarah Fear's death, so obviously it's got a lot of significance. And then they come to find out that there is some type of a...
You talking about underground?
Absolutely. And I'm talking about the thing that's down there, that alive.
Oh, breathing, the blob.
Was it like a heart or something? I guess.
That shit a organism.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is where they actually find the chambers, like Sarah Fear's actual chambers, where she's given up some type of a sacrifice in order to get these people and to possess them, because she made some type of a deal with the devil, I'm assuming, I'm thinking.
And because Ziggy resided at that camp and everything, she was the one that knew where the hand was. Yeah, because apparently she ended up losing her hand. It was separated from her body. So when they find her body, it's missing a hand. So for whatever reason, they have to get this hand and reunite it with her body or some shit to break the curse. Is that correct?
That's allegedly. That's what we're led to believe. So apparently the tree that was at the camp was a decoy. That wasn't the actual tree she was hung from. The actual tree, they build a mall around. Like, what type of shit is that? What are y'all doing?
With that history, why would you want to do that?
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Gross. Yeah. This town is weird. I mean, granted, they ain't deserve this, but they weird as fuck. I'll give them that.
As she reunites the hand to her body, we as the viewers, we get thrown back in time and we get to see everything that transpired with Sarah, how she became accused of being this witch. In 1666, we see a lot of familiar faces as other characters, like people that we saw die or that were killed in the previous movies. They come back in this movie, but as people from that period of time. She apparently has another secret relationship with another version of Sam. She gets accused of witchcraft because of this. Because who was it? The drunk dude?
You're telling me not only could you just accuse anybody, but you also didn't have to be a person that had credibility. Like, what the fuck? Who gives a damn what he said? Is it because she didn't want to get on with him, or was it that other dude? It was another dude that was in the town that wanted to get on with Sam. Then he had that raging erection at the campfire, which was gross, by the way.
And then she called him out on it. He just walked away.
Right, he looked so embarrassed.
Like, bro, you wildin'.
Yeah, right.
Imagine me coming to a party like, yo, shit just out. Hey, what's good, y'all?
Then the thing about it was one thing in the accusation situations happen, but a lot of things start happening in the town. Food start to go bad. Like the animals started dying. So because of that, because they saw elements of potential witchcraft, they actually figured that Sarah Fear and her love interest were actually witches. Then it turned out to be that other fuck.
Come to find out, I guess the Good family, I forget this guy's name, but he's a descendant of Nick Good in present time. His descendant made a deal with the devil to provide him prosperity in life and those around him, you know, people that he had close relationship. I guess the devil gets to use like a one person, you know, periodically to just go on these murder sprees to collect souls for this whatever the fuck is going on down there. and in return, he provides him riches and success in life, and you know. This has been going on now for like 300 years. Unfortunately, after Sarah discovered this, he framed her and accused her of being a witch, turned the whole town against her, and that's how she ended up getting unlawfully killed.
And then the fact that he actually stood idly by while they hung an innocent person. And he tied the rope and everything. I'm like, man, you gotta be a different type of evil to do some shit like that.
It's very personal.
Yeah, you built different. These motherfuckers crazy.
Because
you want your farm to be
right.
Better, nigga.
Like, bro, you a sheriff? Yeah, what the That's really...
What the fuck?
At least his Steve Jobs.
Right, at least his brother was like governor or mayor or something. Your aspiration was to be the sheriff.
All these people killed.
Sunny side, shady side, whatever the fuck. That was what you gave the devil for. You ain't even have to sell your soul to do that, nigga. You could have became sheriff on your own.
And this is like a slasher film in its purest form. I think the second movie, it just reminded me so much of like the Jason series.
I was about to say Friday the 13th.
You can tell it was heavily inspired by that. It felt like a fresh take on it.
You know, typically I'm not the biggest fan of slasher movies just because they be stale and it's usually not very interesting. But the way that they did this, that legend, that curse, the town, and the way that you see it over time, it was very well done, man. And it's definitely something that I haven't quite seen before because it's mixed. It kind of mixed genres. It wasn't a pure slasher movie, even though that was majority of the actual attackers.
And they slashed.
Nigga, you ain't never.
Boy, did they slash.
It's like a mystery, and then at some points it was kind of this whole supernatural element, so it kind of played with different horror genres, and I thought that was really cool. You know what else was kind of interesting to me, man? Bullies in these movies be so over the
Why they gotta keep being like this?
Bro, they not even bullies, they just murderers and sociopaths.
Exactly.
They tried to hang the girl just because she said something you didn't like.
I think they thought she stole some money. Are you talking about at the camp?
Yeah. Who gives a fuck? You tried to kill
like $15.
That's what I'm. It's like, what? They really did this whole mock hanging. Even if you wasn't gonna go through with it, the simple theatrics of it, that's a bit extreme.
Yeah, they was trying to burn her alive. Like, and then even the friends was like, okay, I think that's enough.
Your friends always be begrudgingly like hesitant. Well, maybe no. Yes, y'all are going too far. You need to step in. Like we ain't saying we
like, what is
burning no bitches. He only took some money. Like, what the fuck shit is this? What you, Frank Lucas, bitch? Like, what type of shit is that?
Bullies just be over the top.
Dog,
I mean, yeah, we got bullied in school, but it was just dumb shit. And then you would like eventually probably just get in the fight. Right. But it was like, you ain't trying to kill people.
That's what
they be trying to kill people in these movies.
Saying, bro.
Man, listen, I mentioned this before, but goddamn, Tommy, the way he was swinging that fucking axe, bro, it was radical. Mr. Flannel was going crazy. Yo, they trying to kill people, but he really trying to kill people. He was swinging that shit crazy in every decade. Grizzly deaths, though.
Nigga, listen.
What was that her head went to?
Nigga.
That was a meat.
That was fucked up. That was the worst one.
I did not expect her to go out like that.
Man. I didn't think she was going to get killed. When they killed her in that way, oh my God. She didn't deserve that.
No.
Nobody else caught it like that. That shit was crazy to me.
I did not see that coming.
And then he watched it, right? He was like right there.
Oh, you talking about the little brother?
Yeah.
He was like...
Right. He was like, is her lore half okay? We could maybe still salvage something.
Like a lot of the practical effects and the CGI effects look pretty good.
Absolutely. Like
some of the best I've seen in a Netflix movie, honestly, especially for a horror movie.
Them accents was sometimes in that motherfucker.
Yeah. So what were those? Irish? Was that like an Irish accent?
Sure.
Or something? Well, I know it's like a heavy Irish population up there. I was trying to correlate the things. I mean, that's what I took it to be.
Either way, they wasn't hitting that on the market every time. I don't know what accent it was, but they weren't delivering it all the time. Is what I'm saying. That motherfucker.
Fair enough. I felt like they put a lot of effort into making this feel like a true slasher film, man. I don't think we see a whole lot of them nowadays.
Absolutely
not in this capacity.
Yeah, no. The slasher genre is kind of a dead genre, and I think the whole Paranormal Activity, The Ring, you know, them movies, they kind of took the place of the slasher film. You don't really see them like you used to. I guess you could argue that The Purge is kind of that, but, you know, not really. It's kind of a variation of that, but obviously it was heavily influenced by slasher films of old, but they modernized it and they leaned into a lot of the things that made those movies great. The stylized, over the topness of it all. Not even just in the violence, but the characters too. Yeah. These are very much characters. You know, a lot of them are kind of very much over the top theatrical people. Like, who the fuck is this? You know, it's that type of thing. But you need those type of people in a horror movie because you need to root for somebody getting murdered. What I will say in these movies, nigga, they will get it in at whatever time. It don't really even fucking matter. I wasn't mad at the camp sex scene because they didn't know a killer was on the list. But when they tried to get it in at the high school, when everybody was just randomly trying to get it in, when they were waiting for the murderers to get there,
right.
I was like, what the fuck is this about? Yep, now's the time to smash. Right now. Where Axeman is
now
on the fucking way.
You know?
Maybe that was it. Maybe it was just like, this could be one of our last nights type of, that's a
I guess,
ballsy
but
move.
Get to safety first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Like, they in the building with y'all.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought this trilogy was pretty well done. I thought it was a well executed return to the slasher film form. I appreciated also as much thought that they put into the story, the overarching story of the three movies. I don't think you have to really put that much effort into like a compelling story for a movie like this, but I thought they did a pretty good job. For that, I'm gonna give the Fear Street Trilogy a 8 out of 10.
You know, I'm a big horror movie fan, but like I mentioned, I'm not the biggest slasher movie fan. They always seem pretty stale. This is one of the best ones that I've seen in a really long time, and it's for all of the reasons that Eric mentioned, which is that they just took a new approach to it, man. That overarching story, the amount of detail that they really even put into the story was really unnecessary for this type of genre. You usually don't see this level of storytelling in the slasher genre, but it was great to see, and it was dope that they did it over 3 movies. Each movie as a standalone was good on its own too. That's another thing. You didn't necessarily have to watch all 3 of it for you to enjoy it. I enjoyed them all collectively when it all came full circle, but I also enjoyed them each individually too, and I appreciated that too. Overall, I just had a really great time, man. I had a lot of fun watching these, more fun than I thought that I would. I didn't think they would be this good. I'm gonna give Fear Street, the collective series, a 8.5 out of 10.
Which one do you think was your favorite one?
It probably was the second one, man. I had a lot of fun watching the first one too, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely between those two.
I think the second one was probably the most like fleshed out one.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in to our review of Fear Street Trilogy, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you have any suggested reviews for us, don't forget to drop a comment below. Absolutely. And if you guys have seen Fear Street, please let us know what you thought. Which one was your favorite? Who are some of your favorite characters? And how do you feel about this being a throwback to some of the old classic slasher movies and things like that? We'd like to know that as well. For sure. We appreciate y'all, man. All right. Thank y'all. Peace.